What up? Welcome back, everybody. Brand new episode. Trying to summon my best Jon Favreau impression here. This is really terrible. Let me stop right now while I'm ahead. I'm your host, Michael Mendoza. This is Our Side of the Story podcast, episode 8, I believe. Right sitting next to me is my brother from the same mother, David Mendoza.
What up, bro, Kato?
Right, the bearded boy in front of me, Izzy Fressy.
Do it.
And the OG, triple OG, Guatemalan playboy over here to the side, about to get married this year.
Holla back, yo.
JDG Gonzalez.
Okay.
I'm going to try to do something different every single time we record.
We have to. I make my noises.
God.
Oh my god.
What's up, everybody? Again, this is OSS Podcast. If you're listening, if you're following, great. Follow us on Facebook at
OSS Podcast. Oh, well, no, Facebook is Our Side of the Story.
Our Side of the Story.
But Instagram is OSS Podcast.
We will be putting up updates for future episodes, pictures of us, if you care to see what we look like.
Yes, there will another thing, there will probably be like an update coming soon on our side. So yeah.
Yeah.
Look forward to that. We're trying to work on a little bit of something.
We're still
some
growing.
things, growing pains, but we're doing it.
We're getting there. It's a brand new year.
Part of growth is just starting, and this is what we're doing. So
Amen, bro.
This is the way.
that was beautiful, right?
I received that.
This is the way.
This is the way. Yes, I have spoken. And let that be a clue to what we're talking about today. Or you could have just looked at the title of this video.
Our thumbnails kind of say it.
All right.
Last week, we talked about The Witcher. Before that, we talked about Star Wars. And speaking of Star Wars, today, we are finally getting into the Mandalorian series on Disney+.
The good part of Star Wars.
The great part of Star Wars, let me correct you, sir. The only best thing in recent years, not including the series, which I heard was actually pretty amazing. I respect that. But the Mandalorian series, guys, what do you think?
2 words. Baby Yoda.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
That's all there is.
Hell yeah.
You don't got to watch the show. Just go on YouTube and look up Baby Yoda.
Okay, are we
clips.
getting into spoilers though? Like
That's
right away?
already a spoiler, so yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Spoilers, yeah? Okay.
Yeah, let's go spoilers.
We're going.
So
I got 2 words, or technically is 1. Dark Blade.
Dark Saber action.
That's what I said.
So let me tell you something. I had no idea what that was. I thought it was a lightsaber.
No.
So what is a dark
It's
saber?
an actual Mandalorian weapon.
It's supposed to show authority.
Yeah, whoever owns that is the leader of the Mandalorians.
So is that to assume Moff Gideon is a Mandalorian himself?
Or maybe it was.
Or was?
Or killed the leader and just took the saber for himself, because,
Interesting. Interesting.
Which is interesting because I actually thought that the armorer was the leader of the Mandalorian.
That's what I thought too. So
They
She
made it
was
seem
awesome.
She was cool.
She was awesome. Which is, by the way, one thing I would have said was if she pulled out that dark saber, that would have made like my whole.
So let's
mind
talk
blown.
about, before we get into those minor details, let's talk about exactly what the Mandalorian is about. So correct me if I'm wrong, Gonzalez, because you are the Star Wars aficionado here in the group. This series, which is only 8 episodes, watch it now on Disney+. Yes. Disney, please sponsor us. Actually, no, we're gonna fix you, Disney.
contact us.
Contact us so we can help you guys.
We will write your movies.
Straight up. So the Mandalorian series takes place between episode 6 and right before episode 7.
Yes,
Episode 7, The
it
Force
is-
Awakens.
I
It's-
believe it's
After Return of the
10
Jedi.
years after Return of the Jedi.
Okay.
You're right.
Yep,
So
yep,
it's
So it
set.
would be 30 years before The Force Awakens?
Yeah, they said it was a big time gap in between there. I don't know the specifics.
I think The Force Awakens is 40 years after Jedi. Or
Maybe.
60. But I know for sure it's 10 years after.
Fact checking here.
Mhm.
This takes place 5 years after the fall of the Galactic Empire.
Oh, so that's like 5
So-
years after Return of the Jedi. Okay, wow.
So I mean, as far as the Mandalorian is set, right before the emergence of the First Order, which is why.
So it is like a 10-year thing.
Right.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay, great. So this takes place in between that time gap, that time period, and we are following the eponymous character. Eponymous, that's a big word for me. The eponymous character, which is the Mandalorian himself,
Mando.
Mando, that they call him. I was like, oh, that's a cool nickname.
Who is played by Pedro Pascal.
who his real name is actually Din Djarin.
Big spoiler
Oh,
there.
the actual.
Yeah, the
I
actual
mean, it's not a
Mandalorian.
big spoiler because nobody knows who the hell Din Djarin
Well, people
is.
thought this was gonna be Boba Fett, sir.
or Jango Fett. For all
No, Jango
you-
Fett died.
Well, you never know. This could have been like, ooh, snap! It's a flashback to his life.
It could have been like
David has his
Darth
wires
Maul.
crossed. Yeah, right.
I don't know Star Wars. Okay.
You
Continue,
tried. You
Mike,
tried.
continue.
Anyway, yes. So we're following Mando. We're following Mandalorian, and he is a bounty hunter. And it's basically exploring his time, exploring the galaxy, taking in jobs. He's a mercenary.
Yep.
That's what Mandalorians mostly do. And he comes across one assignment, carries out one mission that involves we get
The
introduced
Empire.
to
Bounty.
the
It involves
Empire.
the Empire.
That's
trying
right.
To reemerge,
Mm-hmm.
trying to get
The asset they called
the
it.
asset and to bring it alive.
Alive, right?
And then
Only to come to find out it's a
It's a
cute
child.
little adorable
Child.
Yoda species.
yeah,
Yeah.
which is probably like the biggest surprise in Star Wars in a very long time.
Mm-hmm.
Because we thought Yoda, we were told there were only two from that species.
Oh,
which was
okay.
Yoda, and there was another one that was a Jedi Master as well. You see her actually in episode 2, I believe.
Oh, okay, cool.
But after that, we know nothing of that species. I don't think we even know the name.
No, they didn't give a name. They just called it the child. It's literally credited as the
and
child.
then the
But
internet,
internet-
called him
Yes.
Baby Yoda, and Baby Yoda it is, and that's probably the most marketable character of all time.
Probably the cutest thing in terms
Yeah.
of Disney creatures, beating
just,
Groot.
Just when you thought Star Wars was losing its charisma, it's like the fire.
And I think
per
that
se, they just come up with that.
100%. And I think we have to give a lot of credit to Jon Favreau.
Heck yeah.
Jon
Because
Favreau, yeah.
I mean, I don't know if obviously he must be a fan of the Star Wars series. I think to take it into this original story where you can introduce an original character to Star Wars fans and audiences alike of this really nobody character. And I like the direction they take it. And clearly there's a lot of inspiration used and a lot of references from other sources of material
Yep.
into the show. I mean, first of all, the show looks like a Western story, which
Even
is
the
so cool.
music
The
feels
music,
like it.
oh my god, the music! I didn't realize that John Williams has nothing. When you think Star Wars music, you think John Williams'
Yeah,
score.
He has nothing to do with it.
Nothing to do with this. First of all, I just found this out at the end of the last episode. I didn't know the guy who was doing most of the music. I will not say his name, but it's the same dude that he's an Oscar winner now from Black Panther. He's the one that did the Black Panther.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Damn.
This dude is and he's done other stuff too, but everyone knows him.
That's actually pretty cool.
Yeah, I had no
That's
idea
completely
because I love.
opposites.
Yeah, I love the score, and I love the score too,
wow.
and I think it definitely captures the tone and atmosphere of the show because it does have that Western, very also a Japanese feel too. And what I mean by Japanese, yeah, I say that because it has that. Because this whole show involves Mando, the Mandalorian, taking in this Baby Yoda character, and clearly his heart for the mission has completely altered, changed.
Yeah.
He has sympathy for this creature, and is now on the run with this child, and it has like a lone wolf and cub feel. That's what I mean by Japanese.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of Japanese stories like that, told like that,
Yeah.
where he's like a Ronin warrior. He forget about where the guild where he put aside his loyalty, his allies to the side
His
to do his own
job.
thing, his job.
He put everything on the line, his life included, because he felt like he couldn't leave
This child.
this child because he thought
yeah,
they were.
there's a
gonna kill him.
connection. Yeah,
He felt a connection, which is kind of explained later on with his past.
Mhm.
He related to the asset.
yeah.
So I personally think this show was really interesting because it had like a gunslinger kind of feel to it.
Yeah.
Especially like a cowboy story.
Yeah, that's what I mean with Western. Yeah.
Yeah, so I think that was really cool, especially, and this is all taking place in the Star Wars lore and in the world itself of it, where we get to see every episode felt like almost like a movie. It literally did.
Yeah.
Like,
The quality.
the quality-
This is
Oh my
movie
gosh.
level stuff.
right, the
Yeah.
music,
And look who
the
they have
action,
attached to the
writing.
project, directing episodes. Taika Waititi, everybody.
Heck yeah.
Right, a lot. There were different episodes each episode, but different directors each episode. But yeah, no, when you get someone like him, I mean, it just felt right. Everything when it came to the way that the show was given, every episode, like I said, was just like a movie. And then one thing I will just kind of throw out there now, just might as well since I'm talking. This to me was really interesting because it's very hard a lot of times when you get a show where you don't see a character's face. And yet the Mandalorian's acting throughout this show was incredible. I mean, there were moments, my favorite personal moment, the scene itself was when he was contemplating whether or not he was going to go and actually save the child. Because you don't see his face, you don't know what he's doing.
You don't even see his eyes.
You don't see nothing, and what's crazy is that you only see his face ever once, and that was to IG. Shout out to IG, you know, in my heart forever. But what was so crazy about this is that you know, throughout this show, we never see his face. We just hear his voice, his mannerisms. A lot of his body language kind of comes out the most.
He does most of the acting, yeah.
Right. And what's crazy is that you don't see that a lot now, especially when it comes to the way acting. I mean, we have a lot of different things to go by where we see faces covered. I mean, like you look at a show like, not a show, but like a movie like Dread, where
that's exactly what I was thinking. That's the best example.
But actually, no, the best example to me, and David, you're gonna like this. The best example to me, I was thinking about all this time throughout this entire show was V for Vendetta.
Oh yeah.
Where we see V,
Oh.
he is never, his face is never shown.
Yeah.
But one of the great things about it is that
understand.
voice, his character, the writing for him, it was perfect.
Testament, shout out to Hugo Weaving for portraying that.
Hugo
Heck
Weaving.
yeah, for pulling that role off.
And it's crazy that somebody like Pedro Pascal, who's coming off of Narcos, I believe.
His career has blown up.
Oh, absolutely.
has.
Ever since
Exponentially.
ever since he I guess spoilers, he got killed off of Game of Thrones. Like his career just skyrocketed.
I forgot he was.
I forgot he was
bro,
in there
his
too.
head got
I had no
squashed.
idea he was on Game of Thrones.
His head
I
got
thought I
squashed
only
like-
knew him from Narcos.
from
No,
the
it was like a
mountain.
watermelon. Like it was
I
like
remember the mountain.
disgusting.
Oh,
bro.
wow.
Yeah, it was horrible. But his career blew
Yeah,
up.
He
since
has
then,
made the right choices.
Yeah.
I feel.
he has as far as casting wise, joining
Yeah.
projects. Yeah, because he was even in
He's very likable too.
the Golden Circle movie, Kingsman.
was.
I didn't see that, but I heard. it
Oh,
was
that's
pretty
right.
good.
Yeah, I think that was the last thing before he did Mandalorian.
And now his next biggest thing is Wonder Woman 1984, which I'm excited
Right.
to see.
Oh my god.
So
He's
it's
everywhere.
It's insane.
He's
yeah.
reminding me of like when Luke Evans showed up on the scene.
Oh yeah, he was everywhere.
Yeah,
reminded me of
he
like-
blew
like-
up.
Yeah, he
Hopefully
just
this
blew
guy
up.
makes better choices.
Yeah.
Yes.
It really. I'm sorry. Like I'll always say, like one of my favorite movies of him was Dracula Untold.
Oh, Luke
And,
Evans. Yeah.
And for me, I feel like he got played out by so many different roles. I feel like he's such a great actor.
Yeah.
That movie. was
is a good actor.
But no, my opinion on Mandalorian was it took me like a really long time to like catch up on it. Everybody was like, "Yo, you gotta watch it," but I was watching anime, bro.
I don't blame him.
I don't
I was
blame
watching a
him.
bunch
What
of
a
anime.
weeb.
I know. So yeah, I think it was like it's definitely one of the better shows, like live action shows that you know. The Clone Wars was really good. Like that was a really good animated show. But
Right.
I mean, like live act because every episode felt like a video game. I felt like a sense of nostalgia watching it because I was like, it reminds me of when I was a kid playing these video games where each mission was you had to go get something, you had to go rescue something.
Okay, so I'm glad you said that because I appreciate this show for doing that too. I called every episode like almost like a side quest. Now I know I did hear a lot of fans and critics had a problem with that,
What
and
don't
I can
they have,
and I
what
can
don't they have a problem with?
true.
Star Wars
But
fans don't get to talk.
I think I wonder too why it was bothering people, and I guess because there are some. Not every episode is 100% on Rotten Tomatoes, if you will. Not everyone's gonna like every episode. I just found out that Chris Stuckman didn't like episode 5. He thought it was like one of the worst, and I had to remember.
That's the
remember so.
gunslinger.
Yeah, the
right?
gunslinger,
He
yeah.
didn't like that one. David didn't like that one either.
It was the
like it
weakest. I will say it was the weakest.
No, to me, it wasn't the weakest, but it had as far as characters,
Yeah.
my least favorite I think was the one after that when he was doing the heist.
Yeah, I love that
yeah.
episode.
I despised those characters, and it wasn't because
Oh, okay.
they were like unlikable. They were supposed to. It was that they all sucked. They
Oh.
all sucked. Like as far as acting, they were terrible. The girl, like doing all that weird licking her lips, their teeth thing. I was like, what is this? I
Yeah,
was
they
like,
gave him some weird
because
quirks.
That's that race. is supposed to be
No,
like,
no,
Oh,
it
really?
was all of them. Not even. I'm saying just.
I thought Bill Burr did an okay
no,
job.
he's annoying. I don't like.
Oh, wow.
I don't. Not that I don't like. He was just obnoxious.
Okay,
Like,
I understand.
I don't know why. It was weird.
Yeah.
I just did not click with that episode.
Right.
Probably.
No, I understand. But
Gunslinger, I didn't really have a problem with. I don't know why. I didn't hate it or love it. I was just like, okay, this is.
it just
pretty
didn't stand out. Yeah,
Yeah,
you just thought it was acceptable.
good. Yeah, but I think
Yeah.
by far the best episode was
But I
episode
thi-
7.
Oh no, 100%. It's definitely the strongest. But that's the thing because like the show introduces the Mandalorian doing the mission. Okay, we've established that he gets Baby Yoda and goes on the run. I think that's what kind of subverted my expectation for the rest of the episodes to come because I thought the whole show was going to be him literally on the run every time, hiding out, going to places, place. Villains show up, try to take the Baby Yoda away from him, yada yada. But it doesn't go in that obvious direction, which I have to appreciate. And I guess that's why I don't mind the side quest missions, if you will, because
it's also a good way of introducing the other characters.
exactly going into the world, exploring the world
And
more.
the
I
show
like
is
that.
based off of Mandalorian, so it's off of that Mandalorian. So you have to show his journey, especially with now Baby Yoda being a big part of his journey. That's something the side quests are gonna probably be needed.
Which again,
it's
just
not
as-
like filler episodes in anime, like Naruto.
I was gonna
Yeah.
say, yeah,
It's not
it doesn't
like
feel
filler.
like filler.
It doesn't
episodes.
feel like filler. The only to me I will say was, like I said, for me specifically, Gunslinger felt like a side episode. Like it was a filler episode that I felt like we did not need because, I mean, I personally don't think anything big happened in that episode that was necessary.
Not really.
Yeah.
Not really.
I
Because-
mean, I did like.
I feel like it was a setup episode
It
more
was a
because there's a mysterious character that
I was
shows
gonna
up.
say the mysterious
Right.
characters with it, but the gunslinger, it had the guy himself, the actual gunslinger. There was potential there. I think that the guy had like potential to be this cool character.
Toro?
But they just kind of like killed him. I was like, oh, all right. Like,
Yeah,
Yeah, that's the thing. Chris Tuckman hated his acting. I was like,
I don't
really?
know. I don't know if I hated his acting.
Yeah, I can't say that.
toward the
either.
end, I just felt like
Episode 6 had worse acting than that. Like
Yeah,
they were pretty bad. Like
my love to Clancy Brown, who did Burke.
I didn't know he did. That
who's
kind
Clancy
of-
Brown? Who's that?
That's the
guy-
guy who did remember in Detroit Being
Detroit.
Human.
I don't know that game.
He's
He
the one that
voiced
voices
Mr.
Mr. Krabs.
Anybody named Mr. Krabs? I question them.
I'm gonna look up a
So,
picture.
All right,
guys
while
can-
he does
that
that-
is a disease, ladies and gentlemen.
While he does that, we haven't spoke about any of the other characters. I think Carl Winters did a great job. Mike, don't botch me for this one. Warner Hetzog.
I'm gonna botch. No, you're botching. I'm
Yeah.
gonna save you. Warner Herzog.
Herzog, thank
Herzog.
you. He did an incredible job, but man, my love goes out to
He's a
Nick
great
Nolte.
actor.
Nick Nolte.
Bro, that guy is a living legend. Did you see the video of him getting shot?
Yep.
Yes.
That video, I was like, oh my god, this guy's like immortal.
Yep.
Like, he doesn't care.
I have
Forrest is
spoken.
with him.
I have spoken.
Wait, no, that's not the one I'm thinking of.
Oh, what are you thinking about?
What's the guy in the very first episode?
Carl Winters. You're thinking Carl
Carl
Winters.
Winters? That's him?
Yeah.
Oh.
You're thinking of
Weathers.
Sorry,
Weathers.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
Grief, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That
He was.
he's
yeah,
awesome.
He was
That guy's
awesome.
awesome.
He was awesome too.
Rest in peace. What's it? Quill?
Quill.
Yeah, Quill.
Rest in peace.
I have spoken. But yeah, no, I mean, I didn't even know that Taki. Wow, I'm gonna
Taika Waititi. Should
Thank
I
you.
read the
Taika.
names for
Yeah,
you,
yeah,
David?
do me a favor. I've never been good at
Taika
reading.
Waititi.
IG-11. It was crazy that this character was only seen in like 3 episodes. I think not even.
I thought he was gonna be a nobody.
And
Yeah, 3 episodes.
Yeah, it was just a quick little robot that turned out to be really impressive to me.
I mean,
Like,
it
just-
starts out as a partner for, well, not a partner. They just
Yeah.
decide to team up to get the acid in the first episode.
I will say
Right.
Star Wars are good. They're the people behind Star Wars. They're good at having droids, inanimate characters.
Yes.
Yeah,
have
make
so
you
much
care about
compassion,
them.
sympathy. Yeah, I appreciate that.
Yeah, and then obviously in the first episode, we think
Mhm.
Mando kills him.
Oh no,
Uh,
he did.
He did
kinda
technically
straight
die.
up
He did
kill him.
He
Yeah,
did, but then he was like reprogrammed.
yeah,
by
which I thought was
Quill.
cool.
To take care,
Nurse,
to,
yeah.
to nurse and
Mhm.
protect. That's the
Yeah.
line. What did you guys think of Carano's character, Gina Carano?
I thought she did a very,
She did
very
a
good
very
job.
good job.
I like Gina
I was
Carano.
first introduced. I know her first major role was Haywire, but I knew her from like
That movie's so awesome.
I've never seen it, but I heard she did a very good performance. 'Cause I know she started off as an MMA fighter, right? in
Damn
UFC.
good one too.
Oh, okay. And then she did other roles. I know she was in Deadpool 1.
Yeah.
And then I think she did some TV stuff. But I thought she did a really great job.
Yeah,
I thought she was a
she's
great
good.
side character for a sidekick. I wouldn't call her a sidekick, but she was a good, like, an addition
Yeah.
with Mando's
I think
journey.
It's crazy. She kind of reminded me of Michelle Rodriguez at some points.
It's
I-
because
I-
she's
I
a tough
bet-
girl.
I-
Any
yeah, she's
tough
just a
actress
top
girl
better
is
version.
Michelle Rodriguez.
Unlikable.
Unlikable.
She's
Yeah.
good. Gina Carano's. She's really,
awesome.
she's really, really good.
Yeah, I thought she was great.
Yeah, they use her abilities too, like her MMA abilities. They use
Yeah.
it really.
That was
well.
cool. Yeah. And it was and it wasn't like just there for the sake of being there.
Yeah.
You know, like there was purpose behind it. So
I mean, how about when Baby Yoda choked her?
Oh,
little-
there's a scene where
That is so
Mando
funny.
and Carano's character, I forget her name in the show.
I think it
They're
was Kara. I
just-
think it was actually called Kara.
Kara?
Yeah.
They're arm wrestling, and I think it's episode what, 4?
7, I think.
Is it 7?
No, it's not 7, no.
It's the
definitely not
beginning of
7.
7. Is it not the beginning of 7?
I don't
What are we
believe
talking
so.
about?
When they're arm
Where
wrestling.
when they're arm wrestling.
Is it 6
Mando
or 7?
And Kara.
We'll figure it out. Keep going.
So at this point, there's been already a lot of enemies trying to kill Mando.
Yeah.
So Baby Yoda's a little protective of him.
man,
'cause
yeah.
He looks at him as his dad. Pretty
Yeah,
much.
at this point.
So Kara is actually
Yes,
winning.
it is 7.
And Baby Yoda is like,
mistake.
no, nope. And then you start actually him pulls a Vader on
Yeah.
us and starts choking Kara. And then Mando's like, wait, no.
She's good. We're playing around.
Yo, Baby Yoda was
I lo-
traumatized.
Speaking about his powers, and because they did this in the movie,
Oh
the
yeah.
Force healing,
Here's where
Let's talk about it.
the big controversial power was introduced. I think this was in 7 actually.
Yeah.
Well, the arm wrestling wasn't 7. He
No, I was talking about the introduction of the force healing
Force
ability.
healing, which there were hints of it in 2, I believe, or in 1. No, 2. Baby Yoda tries to reach Mando.
Yeah.
To try to start healing him,
Yeah.
but then Mando moves him, puts him back in
Mhm.
a cradle thingy, whatever that thing is.
Yeah.
It looks amazing. On episode 7, they reunite with what's the name of the character?
Kara?
No. When
Carl
they go
Weathers?
back, yeah,
Oh,
with him,
I forgot his name.
and he has like some like bandits with him.
Yeah.
He originally was just trying to kill
Betray them.
Mando and
Yeah.
the crew to take the asset back to the Empire,
Mm-hmm.
but they end up getting attacked by this like monsters at night when
Look
they're
like
camping.
pitch black monsters, the Vin
Yeah.
Diesel movie.
flying things.
Yeah, and Baby Yoda actually he pulls the force healing out of nowhere and just heals his wound, because if not, he would have for sure died.
Yeah.
And that completely changed Carl what?
Carl Weathers.
Weathers' mind. His character completely changes after that moment. He's like, you know what? I'm gonna help you guys because you saved my life.
Yeah. I know there's a
So-
lot of people go in that kind of direction where you have a character who's gonna
Yeah.
suddenly redeem himself because his life was saved, whatever.
In
yeah.
that moment,
But I
it's
get
like-
it.
Selfish.
Selfish.
you get to see how actually powerful this baby, quote unquote.
Yeah,
'cause
the first
he's
time you
actually
saw it-
50 years old.
Yeah, for me, I think the scene of that was definitely when the flamethrower stormtrooper.
Oh man, that was cool.
Was that an 8?
That
Yeah.
was an 8.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
when he shoots the flames and Baby Yoda stops it.
that was really tough. That was like a Stranger Things
that was-
season 2
that
moment.
stormtrooper looked like he was about to
Yeah.
destroy everybody.
Which is crazy because even in that same episode, I mean, first off, there were a lot of emotions I had throughout this entire show. Like I was going up and down with things.
They make you care about the characters.
Yeah.
That's the
Every
thing.
time.
time Baby Yoda was on the screen, I was either smiling or crying because I don't know why.
This
It
thing is
just-
cute when he's using the
No,
force.
what got me was when Mando drops the baby off at when he completes the mission.
Oh yeah.
And you see Baby Yoda like kind of crying while he's walking away. I was like, "Yo, I'm about to cry. Like I can't.
I'm
can't
like,
right
you
now."
can't let this baby leave in their hands.
I think the one part I was like, I was laughing myself like for a good hour was when the robot Zero was in the ship and he's looking for the asset, and then when the door opens and he's putting his hand out to try
Oh yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
and he dies. He looks at his hand
Like,
what
I do?
To
So
me, that was
funny.
the cutest thing. But
Yeah.
no, yeah, that scene alone, even when Mando was hurt and he looked like he was gonna die, those moments, oh man, I was broken. I was
Yeah, for some reason, like Mando became a very likable figure in that show. Like it's easy to just make a protagonist that's just like, oh, okay, he's a protagonist. Especially introducing Baby Yoda, you're like, oh, Baby Yoda steals the show. Right. But Mando is still very likable,
which is why I'm very excited for season 2. Yeah. And to remind everybody, this is taking place before Star Wars movie episode 7, Force Awakens. So
before the crap show.
Yes,
which
basically
means, well, we don't know what's gonna happen in season 2, but that means that Baby Yoda is alive and well by the time of the
I was gonna say
Rise
it's
of
canon.
Skywalker.
It's got to be canon. Yeah.
The main Yoda, like
sure,
you don't know how to differentiate them anymore.
Is dead.
Is dead and died at, I think
it was 6. Return of the
maybe Rey trains with Baby Yoda.
Oh god. Oh no.
Well, I mean, I was reading something that there were some talks about this child is the reincarnation of Yoda.
I've heard
you believe
a lot
that?
of,
yeah.
of,
Well,
I think he's a clone.
I was gonna say that maybe
because, and I'll tell you why. Because in one of the people,
I think we'll wrap it up around here.
One of the characters that is trying to examine the acid has a logo that the characters in episode 2 from Camino, which is where they made the clones, they had that same logo too.
Oh,
so he is from the place where they make all the clones, which means. It doesn't mean, but it hints that, oh, maybe this is a clone. The Empire wants him to corrupt him, whatever.
But you're saying it might be an actual clone of
Yoda.
Okay, so it's not just another species, another random species.
The other thing I heard too, just going through things that I kind of saw on the web or whatever, was that if you notice that in episode, Star Wars Rise of Skywalker, 9, thank you. As you saw the bunch of clones of Snook, that means that what happened?
Snooky.
So basically, what there were some things that was said was that this baby is technically the clone of many different clones, but this is the one that actually had the Force ability.
Oh yeah.
That's something else they said. I read, and I kind of agree with it because it could easily be so that that's something that could have happened. I mean, we don't know how the Force really works. I know the movies kind of dabbed a bit into this where you would see children that apparently also have the ability to Force.
But that doesn't exist anymore, apparently, to Rise of Skywalker.
Oh, yeah, exactly.
JJ killed that.
No, Ray, what's your name? Ray Skywalker.
Ray Skywalker.
It's actually Rey Mysterio.
So the show ends with a cliffhanger, obviously leading to season 2. We talked about it, the Darksaber.
Gideon.
Yeah. First of all, let's say Gideon's played by the actor Giancarlo Esposito. Yep. Great, phenomenal actor.
He did really well.
Please.
He's like
vibes of Breaking Bad's villain.
Easily the best villain in Breaking Bad.
Yeah.
And probably television.
So there's a lot to look forward to on season 2.
Definitely.
Very much so.
Yeah. Well, I guess we'll have to wait and see. I think it comes out. When does the season come out?
I believe that one comes out
next year.
That's next year.
Yeah.
All right.
Every time you're saying next year, I think 2020. So
nah, bro,
yeah.
we're there already, my guy.
We're in the future. But yeah, if you're a Star Wars fan, I think you'll definitely love this series. I think you'll definitely find something you'll approve and appreciate about it. If you're not, give it a try. It gives you something different to watch that's not a Netflix series.
Yeah, pretty much.
You know, or if you're not watching Witcher.
Also, just remember that your Disney Plus free subscription is only good for 7 days, so you could just binge watch this show in like a matter of 2.
Oh yeah, honestly.
And then just delete it. That's what everybody apparently is doing. Anyway.
Thanks, guys, for listening. Continue to listen up for more updates, for more videos, more reviews. And again, just subscribe to our channel. We love you. Hope you guys have a wonderful day. From our side to yours, stay blessed, America.